Okay. So I gotta finish that story, right? Now you're like, don't leave me hanging like that. Okay. So it's, where was I? Yeah, he was trying to give me his number. My husband was getting his hair cut. And he was trying to give me his number. I didn't realize it at first, you know? And this is when I first moved here. Maybe a few months after I moved here. Yeah, because I would take my husband. With much struggle, I would take him to get his hair cut. Ugh. So, I'm sitting there, and I think he did ask me, was that my husband? And I said, yeah. And then he was like, okay. And I got a bobby pin over here, kind of like hold it into place on this side. I'm gonna try to wrap it going this way and bring, let me stay focused. So, I'm sitting there, and just like I said, he asked me, was that my husband? And I said, yeah, I got a shirt underneath this because it is kind of hot, so I'm about to take off this sweater. So, I said yes, and he gave a look like, okay. And I just thought that was it. And next thing you know, he was like, we was knee to knee in the chair, because it was like a couch. So we was knee to knee, and he was like, handing me, was it handing me, or how did he do it? He was like this. Let's say this is his phone, and he on his phone, and I got my phone in my hand, right? But I'm not really too much paying attention to him and his phone, you know. So he went on and kind of like, I guess he noticed I wasn't really paying attention, but to be honest, I was. Because my grandmother used to tell me, your eyes is big, and certain things she would be doing, and I'll be like, can I have something? And she'd be like, get out of here, Sharon, your eyes is too big, you don't miss nothing. I'd be like, nope, that's why they big. So my eyes is big, I ain't miss nothing that he was doing. And he was giving those little hints with his arm and with his leg, and I was acting like I ain't see a thing. Because you know the men intuition. I guess my husband caught on that. You know, y'all men, just like us women know when somebody like our man. The men know when somebody like they women, right? So, I guess my husband, I say my father, the devil is a liar. I guess my husband kind of like caught on, and he kept looking, and the guy that was cutting his hair had him turn where his back was to me. So when he would turn him around, I guess to do the little shape up of the cut or whatever, then he'd be looking at me, he had that face like, and I'm saying to myself, why in the crazy you looking at me like that? I ain't trying to be like, I ain't trying to get into contact with no one. You know, I guess he caught on to it way before I did. But here's the thing. When I realized the man was trying to hit on me, and he finalized it by hitting my leg and said, take my number. Right? Now, how was he? No. He was like, because remember I had my phone in my hand, and he was holding on to his like this, so I had my phone down here. And he kind of like came closer to me and said, here, put my number in your phone. And when I'm telling you, God is good. Yes, everything. God gets the glory in everything. Even if the devil try to get it. The glory of God come and take it. And when the glory of God show up, I go right along with the glory of God. See what I'm saying? I don't let the devil make no fool out of me. So, not that I was going to go along with it anyway, but God made sure. Because he had my husband turn right around. And when he turned around, the man moved, grabbed his phone back up. He didn't give it to me, but let's say he had his phone. Let's say y'all is my phone. So he came towards me like, put your number in my phone. Like that, man. And just as soon as he said that, because I was still trying to calculate what he said. I said, didn't I just tell you that with my husband? That let me know people don't care nothing about y'all got husbands and wives. And God allowed a man to turn my husband around. And whatever he had to cut it on the side or the back where he got to turn him around. Now, mind you, he could have just cut him the way he was, where his back would have been towards me. But he brought my husband around for whatever reason, but it had to do with his hair, and kept him like that. And the guy that was trying to give me his number, because he must have knew I wasn't giving him mine, he backed up. He took his phone right quick, and my husband staring at me, and know your husband for over 20 some odd years. You know what them looks stand for. And I politely got up. I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go and get him. He said, where you going? I said, So I looked at the dude that was taping. That was coming. I said, I'll send somebody with the money. Something I said. And my husband looking at me, and I'm saying to myself, if you know what's going on, you should understand why I'm leaving. But my husband always thought that I was messing around. Even though I never disrespect him in front of his face, per se. And we'll explain that per se a little in a few minutes. I never really disrespected him, per se. And while I'm saved. Put it like that. In my salvation stage, I never disrespected him. So I got up and I left. And I told my daughter, I said, listen, here go the money. Go around the corner and pay for your grandfather, for your daddy's haircut. Well, I actually speak to my kids by calling my husband by his name. They don't call him by the name. It's not Danielle's father, so I gotta say she calls him by his name. But his daughter calls him daddy. Like that. And it never really come down where we gotta really interact conversation, where she gotta say daddy this, unless it's something to deal with, him in direct contact. Then she would say, daddy this and daddy that. So I gave her the money. This is Danielle, not Mary, and Danielle is his stepdaughter. So I don't even know whether it's wrong for her to call him. Whether it's wrong for her to call him by his name, but I call my daddy by his name all the way up to I was like 23. Never called my daddy, but I had my reasons, because he was a molester. So I respect you, but don't be trying to get me calling you daddy, and you over here and treat me like I'm your girl. No. With that being said, we're going to leave that alone. That's as my grandmother would say, that is a horse of another color. So, I went, gave her the money. And anytime after that, every time I was going to get his hair done, time for him to get a haircut, I would send his daughters. Give him the money and send his daughters to keep from interacting with him. You see what I'm saying? Now, the word says if you resist the devil, he'll flee from you. I said that earlier in my video. But in the beginning, you can't put yourself in the midst of the enemy so that the enemy can cause you to backslide, cause you to give in into temptation. So I didn't put myself, I was not trying to put myself into that, you know? Not to say I was going to give in to temptation, but I'm going to be honest with you. The guy is a nice looking guy, okay? He's a nice looking guy. And my weakness, and I got to say my weakness. I can't say one of my weaknesses. Because I believe I kind of overcome all of them, you know? And if I didn't, when they do pop up, I know how to overcome them with the Holy Ghost. But my weakness was men. And when me and my husband were separated, I didn't date a lot of men because I was very particular of the men that I dated. And I wasn't so quick to give my goods away because they belong to me, okay? And being that I was molested at young age, and even into teenager, even into after being married, it kind of made me an invert. So it caused me not to communicate with men. Maybe more so like a flirt, but, and this is when I was in the world, more so like a flirt, but you ain't getting nothing. I'll flirt with you. You want to flirt with me? I'm going to flirt with you. I know what to say, and I know what not to say. So even in that aspect, I had to be careful because I put myself in a lot of dangerous positions by flirting. And it was only God who got me out of situations that would have been my life. And I had one guy that was honest with me that told me that I was a straight up flirter. So, okay. So now with that being said, back to the guy, I stayed away from him. I wouldn't go to the store. See, the store that I go to now and get a lot of my stuff from is I gotta go around the corner and down the block, you know, and I gotta pass by his store. But I'm telling you, for months, probably years, I will come out and go another way. I wasn't into, and see, God, let me finish that sentence. I wasn't into the store that I am into now. And see, God knows. And see, as I said before, resist the devil and you'll flee, and he'll flee, right? So now, that can go in two ways. It can go with the enemy coming to you and tempting you. In the moment of temptation, you resist him, and he'll go away. And then the other way could go is that to resist him, you gotta run, you gotta flee. Because the power of the nature, thank you, Holy Ghost, the nature of the temptation can be so strong that you gotta run until you overcome that temptation. And then when you are approached with that temptation again, then the enemy will flee from you because you have conquered the resistance. So that's what I had to do. I had to flee because, you know, being married, it's not like I wanted to be. And, you know, I'm still a woman. I still got my needs, my nature, my hormones, getting older. And don't think because you get older, you still don't feel nothing, because some people still do. I'm not going to say it's a lie, because some people still, don't feel anything. But in that aspect, I had to flee. I had to get away from it. So I stayed away for however long I needed to stay away from it to overcome it. And once I overcome it, and I think he wasn't stupid. He wasn't stupid. He was a very respectable gentleman. So I would go past the store, past his business, and I would go by, and I would just sometimes I would cross the street or whatever, because there was times when he used to be, psst, hey baby, mommy, and I'll be like, y'all remember these? My body, when I saw it, I was like, I gotta get some. Let me see if she gave me some beans. Yeah, she gave me some beans. I'm about to find out if these beans is what tore me up last night. They had me going. So, I'm gonna find out right now. Because I'm about to eat me some beans. So, once I stayed away from him, I overcome it. And now, we see one another, we could speak. And it used to be bad. I ain't gonna lie, it used to be bad. I used to be like, oh my goodness, I'll be praying. I said, Lord, you gotta help me. You gotta help me, Lord. This look like a crunch. I should have paid attention, make sure they was, because they crumble. I guess it's good, because it's let me see how much salt. It's 690 milligrams of salt, which equals to 30%. And it's 1 ounce serving, 28 grams. And ain't nothing else. Oh, you got a lot of cholesterol. Got fat and trans fat. No, trans fat 0. I forgot they took out that trans fat. Saturated fat 3 grams. So it's 150 calories. Okay, I got some cookies here. These are good. These are very good. This name brand is very good. So let me see how much. Oh, this got 75 salt. This has added sugar, which is 10%. Serving size 5 pieces. Calories 130. Okay, so this is what I got. Let me open it. It's actually chicken. She said it was nothing but bones. I don't care. This is what I got. Smells very good. Okay, so eat some more, man. So now, what was I saying? God is great and God is good, and I thank you for my food. By your hand I must be fed. Give me, Lord, my daily bread. For the nourishment of my body, Christ's sake, sanctify and bless it. I stand and labor in him in perfect Jesus' name we pray. Okay, so there was something I was going to tell y'all. So, I was saying all that. The center is that when you resist, allow the Holy Ghost to help you to resist, God will work everything out. So now I'm able to walk by him. He's able to speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Because at one moment he wouldn't speak, so I figured he was kind of angry with me. You know? But obviously you'll be alright. We'll go. I'm not the only girl. So, Mm. But there was something I was going to say. I'm trying to think and remember it. I don't want to get too much into my dad. I'm telling you, it's crazy. You look up to these people, and these people betray you. And due to that happening to me, I had a lot of issues with men. And not only men, meaning, you know, I'm not a lesbian. Not only men, what I mean is that my friendship with people, my outlook on people. Some of it was depending on the person. I would be very out with them, outgoing with them, outspoken with them, talking with them, and then it could be somebody else pulling teeth. Wouldn't tell them nothing. I know one thing I want to say is that due to that fact of what was going on with me, my sex life was crazy. Meaning that you didn't get nothing from me. Nothing. You can wine and dine me all the time. All you want. And put it that way, not all the time. All you want. But if I feel like that's what you're doing, I'm going. You will not hear from me. I have guys, fellas say to me, Dad, what happened to you? That when nice guys will come along, I give them a run for their money. I never was one for hoodlums. And I ain't knocking nobody who like them. Like them, baby. But this wasn't my style. I consider myself to be very classy. And my classiness came from my upbringing and probably part of my inheritance on my mom's side. My grandmother was very classy in her way, in a spiritual way. She ain't take no foolishness. That was her classiness. Don't come to me with no foolishness. That's how she was. Even me. And she loved me from the bottom of her heart. But I better not come to her with no foolishness. She be like, if you don't get out my face, let me open up my Pepsi. Good and cold. That's a good refrigerator. I'm talking about going to stores and they sodas are so semi-warm. Crazy. You know? You know, when you drink soda. And fill that space. That's the food need to go. That's what they always tell you to eat first before you drink anything. I'll get the gas out. But I'm telling you, I don't know whether I ever told that story time. But there was quite a few men in my life that was abusers. And I'm here to tell you, they 6 feet under. However amount of feet they went under. I remember one time I got a call from my sister. And the uncle that was doing me was doing her too. But neither one of us knew it. And I think, now that I'm thinking about it right now, and I told y'all I was a flirter, I think that's what happened to women. Maybe not all women. And this is not even alleged. This is allegedly. This is my opinion and my thoughts on the matter. My thoughts is that maybe when a woman, a girl, is molested by a man, I don't know how it is with a woman, but a woman molested by a man at such a young age, and depending on how long it goes on, especially if it goes into adulthood, I think that may cause the woman to be a little flirtatious. Because maybe in your mind you're saying that I have this power over this man because this particular man that had no right doing what they did to me thought me attractive sexually. Now, whether or not my father and these other men thought that I was cute, I don't know, right? But in my mind, I don't think it had anything to do with cuteness. I don't think it had anything to do with me being a nice-looking girl. Some of them ugly females, me included, just seem to be blessed with a nice body. Right? And I'm not bragging on myself, but I guess that's what attracted these men to me. And me growing up, that was my thought. I never used my body to get what I wanted. I never used my body to manipulate nobody. But my body was always taken for that advantage. Oh, baby, you look good. I'll give you anything you want. What do you want? And in that perspective, with my body being involved, I came across some good men that, although they maybe was attracted to my body, they also was attracted to me. But I could not accept the fact that they was attracted to me. So I kept that thought in my head that you only attracted to my body. So, since you only attracted to my body, then I ain't giving you nothing. Because I want you to be attracted to my head. I'm sick and tired of every man coming in contact with me. Ooh, baby, you got a nice body. Ooh, you look nice. And I ain't bragging on my body, so I don't want nobody to be saying, you don't look that good. Fine. I don't care. I know I don't look that good, but I don't care nothing about what you think about me and my body. This is my body. You know how many years it took me to accept this body? And I'm not even saying if I had money, I would have a big butt, or I would have more chest, or I would, that's about it to be done to your body. Or I may cut my nose down because I did have a big nose. I do have a big nose. No. If I was rich and had a lot of money and was able to get anything that I want, including changing my body, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because there really wasn't nothing that I didn't like about my body. I just didn't like. What I didn't like was how people projected me and looked at me. That's what I didn't like. Like I was a sex symbol, which I felt I'm not even all that. Now, I never paid attention to my nose until now, and I'm in my 50s. And I had this nose from the time I was born, and they would look in the mirror and notice myself. But there was one thing I didn't like was my eyebrows. And I regret not liking them because they go on today. Another thing I didn't like is that I was real hairy. I had a lot of hair on me. I don't know where that came from, whether that was an Indian side. I don't know where all that hair came from. But I was when I say hairy, you could actually take my hair on my skin and pull it about that long. Yeah. I was very hairy. My hair in the back of my neck will come all the way down. All the way down. This side of my hair will come all the way down. And those was baby hairs. Will come all the way down to here. I mean the hair. I don't mean the length. I mean the hair like growing out of my skin was coming all the way down to here. And then I had hair that was like in the base of let me see. I'm trying to turn this around. Right here, can y'all see? Right here. It will come all the way down my back. All on my neck. Now I would never know it was back there until guys would be back there kissing my neck, talking about, oh my God, you got hair coming all the way down your back. I ain't had no hair on my chest, but my arms and my legs, my sideburns is down here. I had hair coming down here. Now I ain't gonna too much tell y'all what they used to call me in school. I ain't get to that. I didn't get to that part where I'm comfortable enough to tell you what they called me in school. Maybe one of these days I'll tell you. When I really get to that point where I don't care what y'all think. I don't care, but I don't want it. Nowadays, you say something on YouTube, the next thing you know, you hear it in the church. So, I know half of my subscribers, well, I ain't gonna say, yeah, just about basically all my subscribers is people that I don't think really see me. And some other subscribers may not, whatever, I don't even think about it. But, there was a name. There was two names they would call me. And I would be so embarrassed. I used to be teased in school. There was, not so much in school, but there was this guy that lived next door to my grandmother. Lived next door to me. I raised up in Williamsburg. 183 block. And there was this guy that lived there. And every time I would come out the house, he would tease me. But one of the things that he would tease me with that I kind of got used to and it didn't really make me feel no way. I don't know the song, but I think it was a song that somebody sang, some artist sang, shit, Sherry, something like that. So every time I would come out the door, and he would be in his window, it seemed like he would never come outside. He would always be in that window. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. His mother must have worked and told him to stay himself inside that house. And he did. He did not come outside. But he will always sing that song. That one. His friends from school. I don't know, maybe he was homeschooled. His friends, well, he couldn't be homeschooled because then he wouldn't have no friends from school, right? So he must have went to school. So his friends from school would come and they would stand down and talk to him to the window. And when I would come outside and he'd be saying that, they would be laughing and stuff. But that wasn't bad compared to the other name he called me. He got another name. Oh my God. But anyway. That's why I say now, I'm really here. Boom in there. What people say, because I have become very satisfied with myself, you know? So, chicken. So it's okay. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 5 o'clock. We got a Bible study. That they have at 5 o'clock every Tuesday. I'll be trying to get on it. So, you know, this is why I don't judge people in their actions, the way they act in certain things, the way they respond to certain things. Because one time, let me finish that thing. Because I understand that people go through things and they haven't overcome it yet. Being abused, sexually abused, any kind of abuse, is a terror. It's horrifying. But to be sexually abused, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like hitting a crazy spot in somebody's life. Because you being sexually abused by somebody that you supposed to have trust in, that you thought they trusted you, that they loved you. And you gotta grow up with those feelings for the rest of your life. Because I'm here to tell you, they don't go nowhere. They don't go nowhere. It's just, all they do is they sit in the background until somebody come along and bring them to the surface. And then depending on whether you overcome them, your response, excuse me, may not be so great. And the guy will be like, Oh my goodness, what is that about? Before me and my husband got married, when I first met my husband, I met him in Job Corps, Utah, at that. And we had went to the movies. They called it the canteen. No, it was a movie theater. This canteen had different types of games and stuff. But we had went to the movie theater. We had went to see this movie. And I had went to the bathroom. I believe I was on my way back from the bathroom. And I had to pass him to go sit down. And not knowing, because I had to break him out of it. But my response that day really blew his mind. And it took a whole lot for him to get me to see him again. I went to pass him. Now I think I was going to the bathroom. And I'm passing him because he's sitting here and I'm over here. I passed him. When I passed him, he hit me on my butt. And before I know, I had turned around and slapped him. I think I slapped him. And I started yelling at him. When I think about it now, I said, wow. I started yelling. I started cursing at him. Yes, I had a real filthy mouth when I was in the world. I couldn't fight you or nothing like that. So I said what I felt and my curse words. And I was cursing. I said, what? I said, don't you ever. I mean, I took it as somebody fighting me, right? I said, don't you ever touch me there no more. Ever in your life. Otherwise, you're going to be seeing stars up in heaven. And you ain't going to be able to stay. And I said, I'm leaving. He was like, wait, where you going? And I walked out the theater. And I guess he didn't really think I left. And he saw I ain't come back. He went running after me. I'm already halfway to my dormitory. Because I was in the Q dorm and he was in the I dorm, which was international. They had a name for all the dorms. So him being in I dorm was considered international playboys. And I was in Q dorm and it was considered queens. The queens. So I was so mad. He tried his best to get me to come outside. And I think you get dinner or something. You come out for dinner. Maybe around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. Could be 6. But I think dinner is over at 8. And then you go to the canteen for about an hour. And 10 o'clock, everybody got to be in their dorms because they got school and trade and all that stuff. Child, I went in my dorm and I stayed in there. And that was after trade. I think after we finished trade, changed our clothes and stuff like that. And now it's like before dinner. Maybe it wasn't before dinner. I think it was after because I stayed in there all night. But I had a girlfriend, a friend of mine, let me put it that way. And he would come to the dorm. He would call the dorm and the girl would come because we had our own little cubicles. That's what you call it. And he would call the dorm and then the girl would come. They would be like, is this Sharon here? And I wouldn't answer because whoever calling my name did not know me. So I wasn't going to let myself be known. So I stayed in my cubicle or whatever they call that. And finally somebody came in that knew me. Just a minute.
Okay.
Finally, somebody came in that knew me. And when they came in, I heard the phone ring. And they came and said, Sharon, you ain't been answering the phone? I said, nope. They said, Tracy been calling you all day. He said he been calling you for the past 3 hours. I said, and? There's 24 hours in a day. So he still got some more hours. Right? I said, oh boy, what happened? So, I didn't go to the phone. I went to eat. I'ma say it was before dinner. So I went to eat and he was standing outside waiting and stuff and he'd come. And I said, don't say nothing to me. He said, do not say nothing to me. And I think that's what interests him with me. Because, number one, I was consistent in whatever I did or said. Because if I said, I'm done, I'm over with, that's it. I'm more leaning now because he's my husband, but I never went back. When I broke up with a guy, that was it. No, I don't care how much they came talking to me, giving me flowers, whatever, candy, whatever. I would give them back. I wouldn't accept. Because ain't nothing you giving me I'm taking because I don't want to be bothered with you. And that's that. That's why I can serve God with such sincerity, because I ain't got to worry about him acting crazy with me unless I act crazy with him. And I don't plan on doing that. So anyway, let me tell the story. Let me finish it. So the next day, it's time for, I think my trade was first. And I think I was in painting. That was my first trade. And then once I started dating him and going out with him, I went to custodian, which back then it was custodian maintenance. They don't call it that now. I forgot the name they call it. So I was not paying him no mind. He will walk with me. I wasn't saying nothing to him. Every now and then he would say something. You going to class, you going to school. And he the same way today. He never say sorry about nothing. And he'll go on like he ain't even did nothing. And have a conversation with you. He done slap you up. I'm just using he ain't do that, but I'm just using a term to let you get the full effect of it. He done slap you up and tie you down and have you chained to the toilet seat and leave you there for days, and then come back and move you and fix you some food and give you some flowers and never apologize. He ain't never did that to me, so don't even think that. I'm just putting it in a perspective to let you see where his brain was. And how he never apologized. And he suffered for it. I ain't say nothing to him probably for a week. Saw him every day. He wait for me when my what's the face was over, and my girlfriend be like, there you go. I'd be like, oh my God. He could see that my and he'll start laughing. And then he'll come doing small talks. Still ain't apologize. I think what broke it was I went to the canteen. No, he said, can I take you to the canteen to get you a pizza or something like that? Because I wasn't being alone with him. So we went to the canteen. He bought me a pizza. And then he started talking. His friends came over and stuff like that. And then we went back to the movie theater. There was something playing that I wanted to see. What was it? I forgot the name of the movie. But it was something that I wanted to see, and he must have overheard me saying it. Because I went to the movies, me and him and my girlfriend and whoever she went with. And that's what what broke the ice. So with that being said, I would act crazy when guys would just touch me. If they wasn't of authority, meaning my father, my uncle, a teacher. Nah, let me not even put no teachers in there. Teachers never. I had no issues with no teachers. It was family members. Nobody in the church or nothing like that. It was family members. Devilish family members. That is dead today. So I don't even know what to tell y'all about that. Because my reasons for not telling it didn't have nothing to do with me, people not believing me. You see? Because I don't know, I just kept it to myself. I was an inverted type of child, so I kept a lot of things inside. So with that being said, I'm going to let you go because it's about time for that. I need to do some homework. Y'all have a blessed day, blessed night. You like my story? Do hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you again on my channel. Welcome, and see you another time. God bless you. Bye.